very shortly. Former US Secretary of State Hillary Clinton has called for more files related to Jeffrey Epstein to be released, following troubling revelations about the late sex offender. Speaking at the Munich Security Conference, Clinton highlighted allegations that Steve Bannon, a former advisor to President Donald Trump, sought Epstein's help in opposition efforts against Pope Francis. Meanwhile, both Hillary and Bill Clinton have agreed to testify in a congressional investigation into Epstein, despite facing contempt charges for refusing to appear in person. Recent Justice Department documents releases have further exposed Epstein's connections to many high-profile figures. Listen in.
It's horrifying, and we're hoping that there will be continued release every day that passes. That doesn't mean, as our news commentators say every day in the United States, it's because someone's name is there, they committed a crime. But I think there's a lot of very troubling and really horrific information coming out. Today, it came out that Steve Bannon was trying to get Jeffrey Epstein to help him overthrow Pope Francis. I've called for, many, many years for everything to be put out there so people can not only see what is in them, but also, if appropriate, hold people accountable. We'll see what happens.
We are now being joined again by by Ross. Thank you so much for joining us back here. Does Clinton's participation in the files and the upcoming congressional deposition change the political dynamics of this controversy and what she's saying?
Probably not, because the questions that are asked can only be with regard to Bill or Hillary Clinton's interactions, friendship, philanthropic dealings with Jeffrey Epstein. It's not going to shed much light on the wider group of people, whether from the worlds of politics or business or academia or arts, who had interactions with Epstein. And we already know for a fact that Bill Clinton traveled with Jeffrey Epstein. They were clearly more than just social acquaintances. They had a much more extensive relationship than being mere social acquaintances. But so much of that is already known. I mean, of course, during these hearings, Bill Clinton or Hillary Clinton are not going to admit that Bill Clinton engaged in any kind of illegal activity together with Jeffrey Epstein. So it will get a lot of attention because of how unusual it is to have a former president and a former first lady testifying about this horrible person. But is it going to shed much light? Probably not. Will it end the controversy? Also, probably not.
And obviously, we know that Clinton has called for full transparency of the Epstein files and for them to all now be released for the public. For the last drop of the files, we saw a lot of it was redacted, and there was lots of controversy because the parts of what was redacted was senior figures and high officials. But some of the victims weren't redacted, and they were then put out when they didn't want to be. How should the release of these next files that Hillary Clinton is now asking for, how should that happen?
Well, the Justice Department is claiming that they've released everything and that there isn't anything else to release. The only issue here is whether to unredact a lot of the names that have been redacted. As far as Hillary Clinton's comments go, apparently she must have discussed this in detail with Bill Clinton. He's assured her that no matter where his name appears in these files, if his name is redacted, if his name is unredacted, it's not going to reveal anything significantly more damaging than what we already know about Bill Clinton's interactions with Jeffrey Epstein, and it won't reveal any illegal activity by Bill Clinton. So that probably gives Hillary Clinton some comfort to say names that are redacted should be unredacted. And if there are any friends of Hillary and Bill Clinton whose names appear after those names are unredacted, I guess the Clintons have made the decision that for political or public relations purposes that they could cut ties with anyone closer. And keeping in mind that there's already been people close to the Clintons who've been publicly named, such as former Treasury Secretary Lawrence Summers, even Secretary of Commerce Lutnick raised money for Hillary Clinton in 2016. Again, it seems that the Clintons have made the strategic decision that any additional names that are revealed who are close to them, they're willing to cut ties.
Thank you so much, Ross, for joining us here today on NewsX World. It's a pleasure speaking with you. 5 people were reportedly injured